Hi, my name is John Daniel. I teach the trumpet at Lawrence Conservatory of Music at Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. And I've written a trumpet book, a method. I call it Special Studies for Trumpet. And you can find it at johndanieltrumpet.com. So I'm going to teach a little lesson today based on pedal tones and reasons that I do pedal tones. I can't speak for everybody. I don't know why everybody else would do them. And I know there's some people that would tell you not to do pedal tones, and I'm okay with that too, if that's what works for you. What are pedal tones? Well, there is a true pedal on the trumpet that has kind of been designed off of the instrument so that it's hard to play, an octave below middle C, and we'll show you how to play that here in a minute. And then there's the notes right above that we refer to as single pedal tones. Depending on what fingering you're using, you're basically bending from the low register into that register to play those notes. So if you're playing the lowest note on the trumpet, 1, 2, and 3, low F sharp, if you're playing the notes below that, all 1, 2, and 3, then you're basically bending low F sharp down. That's one way of playing those notes. If you want to play them with what we would think of as normal trumpet fingerings, then you're bending different notes. So a low F first valve is basically B flat bent down to F. And that's the way I play those notes. Now the easiest way to play the next note, the C, below middle C, would be to bend the low F sharp down to pedal C and play it 1, 2, and 3. The next easiest way would be to bend G down to pedal C. And so forth until you try to bend middle C down to pedal C. And you heard the note below slip out, which is the true pedal C. And when I mentioned that it's been kind of designed off the instrument, it's much more difficult to play on a B-flat trumpet than, for example, a cornet, or particularly flugelhorn is fairly easy to play in tune. It's easy to play on a B-flat trumpet. It just tends to come out quite flat. And if you just go with that and play at a whole step, or even sometimes it's a fourth flat, if you can just accelerate enough air through that, it starts to come up to pitch. And a lot of players can get it up to pitch just by doing that. And that's wonderful if you can get there that way. I struggle sometimes to get it up to pitch just by airspeed. I feel like at some point in the process of blowing it up to pitch, I wish I had more lip in the mouthpiece. And so I tend to work on pedal C by bending my normal embouchure into that note. If you get better at that, eventually the pedal C, the fuller the first partial of the trumpet, will start to come up to pitch. And you can play it open and it works out. So what is it about pedal tones that we might want to learn something from? I'm speaking for myself here. One of the things that I like about pedal tones is the lips tend to be lined up. One of the problems we typically encounter with range development with trumpet players is when we go up and there's a lot of pivoting and the lower lip slides under the top lip, and we're left trying to play high notes like that when the lips are no longer interactive. And that's one thing in the pedal register is you don't find very often. Usually the lips are kind of right on top of each other. So that's a good thing about the pedal register that I like. Another thing about the pedal register I like is the embouchure tends to come forward and be a little bit off the teeth. so you're not, stretched out over the teeth and feeling your teeth when you play. And that's a positive thing that we can try to use in the normal trumpet playing register. And there's some other things about just getting the air to move at a very specific speed that we have to do with the oral cavity that I think can help us play better. So the first thing I do once I've explored the pedal register and gotten some of these notes to speak is I start going from pedal F into the normal trumpet register and try to do it as seamlessly as possible. So if we were going from F to F sharp on the trumpet, we wouldn't expect to see a lot of jumping around or motion with the embouchure. So would it be possible to do that down an octave? Well, it depends how you're playing those notes, of course. And so that's the goal, is to play them in such a way that you can play those two notes seamlessly. And then, in a sense, retrain ourselves in the low register to use some of the pedal tone position so that we do keep our lips lined up, we do keep the embouchure a little bit forward off the teeth. A lot of times we're going to do something like this to play the pedal tones, and we might want to experiment with keeping some of that position into the trumpet register. And so I'm gradually trying to click and drag, so to speak, the pedal register into the normal trumpet register and keep those aspects of the pedal register that I like into my normal playing. It creates a more open sound. So just that kind of a mean face effect that we have to use in the pedal register. If we just develop the pedal register smoothly, one note at a time, into the normal trumpet register, then we can sometimes create some growth and evolution in the way we're using our chops that can allow us to continue to proceed as high as we want to play on the trumpet, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you very much. My name is John Daniel. I'm teaching from Special Studies for Trumpet. You can find it at johndanieltrumpet.com.